tremble in fear at the sight of the one and only Megatron. Ha 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 ha. Anyways, old versus new, again, because I don't like just reviewing Transformers. I like doing something different and unique, and that's comparing the oldest version of a figure with the newest version. And in this time, we're looking at Revenge of the Fallen Megatron. I did one for Dark of the Moon Megatron, for the Voyager and the Leader, but this time is for the original Voyager Revenge of the Fallen Megatron that I literally just got in the mail yesterday because I've really been wanting it. Even after getting this, I wanted that. If that's any indication on where this video is going to go. Spoiler alert, both of them are very nice. And then I've had the Studio Series for well over a year now, right? Man, Studio Series has been out for a while. It's kicking, man. Studio Series is going, and I'm very happy with it. It's going to go well into 2020. We're going to get the movie 1 Voyager Megatron, which is exciting. Man, Studio Series is just great. And it's really great time to be a fan of Michael Bay Transformers figures. I'm personally a huge fan of them. I just think they're pretty good in general. There's definitely some hits or misses. But the thing is, this thing doesn't look that good in comparison to this one, right? But the thing is, they're great. They're both really great for different reasons. This one is great for being so beautifully screen accurate and just good. And this one is great for just being a fun toy. He's not the most screen accurate, as you can see by his colors and by his weird wing pack. But hey, he's great, and I love him. So what I usually do, I talk about the old robot mode, then the new robot mode, then the old transformation, the new transformation, then the vehicles I just compare. So let's talk about the old Revenge of the Fallen Voyager class. I love this guy. So one thing I do need to point out, mine unfortunately had a stress mark right there on the helmet, right there, and that bugged me so much. I decided I would just, put a little bit of silver Sharpie on it, and I might as well put it on the other side, because the thing that bugged me the most was that it wasn't symmetrical. So after doing that, honestly, I actually think the head looks a little better. I just like that little bit of extra silver on it. I don't know, it just looks nice. Because the sides, just, his face is so nice with the golds and the silvers and everything, and the sides are just the sea green. It looks like his head was just sandwiched together with these weird panels. But man, it looks beautiful. Look at that head sculpt. Oh my gosh. Oh man. And we gotta acknowledge the light piping on this thing, because oh wow. Wow, look at that. Oh, even his mouth glows. Oh my gosh. I love it. And then my thing has a different setting where it flashes. Oh. But yeah, there's that. It's beautiful. The green. We gotta acknowledge the green. Me personally, I love it. I love the green so much. Let's get another light in there so you can see. Oh man, can you see that? Can you see that green? And then he's got the gears in him too. He's got the gears here. Let's get this. I just started using this light to just have it handy, and I think it's really good. Look at the gears inside. They're kind of hard to notice, but they're in there, and they turn when you turn the waist. That was the Mecha Live gimmick they had back in Revenge of the Fallen, and I appreciate it. It's just another nice extra bonus for the toy line. I can't get enough of this green, man. I love it. And I love how it still has silver. It's like a silver fade right there, then silver fade on the gun arm, and silver fades on the shoulders, a little bit of silver detail on the torso there. It's beautiful. It's such a beautiful figure. I love the green. The head sculpt, I just can't get enough of. It's so gnarly. So gnarly. And the backpack, you can have it fully just, I will terrorize you, prepare to die, get out of my way. You can have it all the way out. But me personally, I actually kind of like it tucked in a little bit more, because it's going to have to be tucked in on my shelf. I like having those kind of flipped in, just kind of closes it up a bit. So, looking at his legs here, he does have the tread legs, and they're actually pretty good. They're definitely not as film accurate, because he's just got these weird little toesies right there. But they're still nice. They're still segmented how they should be, and I appreciate it. I like these big old panels there. That's fairly accurate. I enjoy it. He does have his little withered left arm here, and it's actually, believe it or not, even though one whole arm is a cannon, this arm is the missile arm. So there's a missile on that, and then he just has his little fingers. It's so creepy, but he's just got his little fingers. Ew. They just look like little tendrils. The other one, I think the newer one handles the hand a little better, but hey, it was a missile. I appreciate it. Because they really couldn't integrate a missile with this arm, because this arm also has Mech Alive. Moving up to redo the gears, and then folding it down. Look at that. His blade comes out. Isn't that so cool? You also have this piece too that can also, like his weird thumb for his claw. And looking at that again. Isn't that so nice? And the awesome thing is if you hold it, you can actually hinge it, and you hear that click. It has a mechanism where you can just have it like that. Or if you want, you can have it like that. You know, you don't have to have the mechanism the whole time. I love that so much. It's just such a cool detail. And this little piece there, just like that. Articulation on this one, I've been talking about it so much. I'm basically reviewing it because I love it that much. The head is on a hinge ball joint system, so you can get a lot of range. It moves up, it moves down. It's such an articulated head. The shoulders, pretty much universal, but they do have a transformation hinge as well. They move up good, bicep swivel. Look, more Mech Alive right there in the bicep. You see that? Man, this guy is so intricate. I love it. That one's not as cool, though, because it's basically just moving over a frame. But that one you can see. Look at that. That's so nice. Then you have the little thumb there. Then the waist, you already saw. The legs, they move forward. Not too much, though, because of the sculpt, but they can move forward. They can move... Whoa! Anyways, they can move out. You have a thigh swivel. You do kind of have a knee bend. It does kind of bend a little bit. So you do have a knee bend, and you can bend that, too, if you want. So you do have that. You don't really have a tilt or anything, even though it does tilt that way. Kind of wish it tilted the other way, but you can't really do anything. Then you have a toe joint. There you go. There's robot mode for the OG one. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. And let's talk about the new one. Most people are probably pretty familiar with this figure. I haven't reviewed it yet, but I'm not going to go too in-depth because, whoa, that's kind of a problem with this guy. This thing likes popping off. So be careful with that. Remember, they did a battle-damaged version of this as a Target exclusive. I kind of would like to get that, but I'm not really too stressed about it right now. So one thing I'm not a huge fan of is he's just all gray plastic. It looks good, don't get me wrong, but it would have been nice to have a little bit of silver dry brushing or something like Studio Series Grimlock. But let's face it, he's a big Voyager. He's bigger than the old one. That's usually not how these old versus new things go. So he's a big Voyager. He's definitely got some heft to him. He's very hefty and nice, so I can understand why he doesn't have paint. Even though the movie 1 Voyager coming up is painted silver very nicely. So, I don't know. It still looks really great, though. Look at this head sculpt. That is one of the best movie Megatron heads. It looks so nice. Wish I had a little bit more paint, but hey, it looks nice. He has gold. Kind of like the gold copper all over him, and I appreciate that. Just not a lot of paint to look at. It's mostly just the sculpt. Look at that, though. Look at the treads. They got the nice copper gold inside them. Looks so nice. Oh, man, I love it. It does have some paint in the cannon there, and I appreciate that. Then the back is very screen accurate. Look at that. He has the little thrusters and everything. I didn't show the back on the other one for some reason. I should probably... Oh, my gosh. There we go. Should probably show that. There's the back on that one. It's just a giant backpack. It's basically most of the vehicle mode. He doesn't have the nice detail there, so yeah, I gotta say this one's got a better back. One thing though, I did mistransform mine. I put these gun things below his arms to kind of fill out the hollowness right there, but they're supposed to technically kind of go up above, like they're supposed to. You can see I kind of did it a little crazy. Supposed to go like that, and I'm just not a fan of that. It doesn't really look any good to me. Articulation on this one, he also has a very good head joint. He also does kind of have like the hinge ball joint mechanism at the head, so you can get really good up. You can get down to if you want to use that transformation hinge. Side to side, shoulders are great. Look at that. Ooh, love it. Then the biceps and the elbows. This hand is definitely better because it actually has like some finger movement there, and it just looks like more of a hand. This one, very deep hinge for that. And then this one actually still does have the flip-out blade, but it just flips out this time. But I do appreciate that. Appreciate how it still has it. No weird thumb thing, though. Nothing at the waist for this one. So if that's a negative for you, that's a negative. Legs move forward, thigh swivel. Oh my gosh, these things keep popping off. The other one doesn't really have things that pop off like that. Those things, those details on this one are spring-loaded. So, hey, they're not going to come off. Even though this one does have the head guards that might come off. I'll talk about that later. The knees, you can kind of move them. You can also stretch them out too if you want, so you can make them even taller. Sometimes I do that on the shelf if he's kind of further back. Then this time around, he actually does have ankle pivot, so that's really nice. Then he, doesn't really have an ankle hinge though, but he does have pivot. So articulation on this one is probably better, mostly because of the ankle pivot and the elbows and everything. But he doesn't have a waist, so that's definitely a detriment. But he's still very poseable. And this one's also still very poseable. He's very nice. They're both just very nice, man. I love them. So anyways, ooh, that was an odd scratch. Let us transform this guy. I've been transforming him a lot lately because he's just so fun. So let's see if I remember how to do it. So you just want to get the backpack kind of spread out. This thing, I don't know if that's how you properly do it, but I like tucking that in there to keep the backpack in. They just flip that out. And then his head guards, they're on ball joints, so they're very easy to just pop off. Those just kind of go like that, and then the head you stretch out on the hinge there and just align with the head guard and tab it together. Then boom, there we go. You got the head in the front, hooray! Then you just kind of get those down and out of the way to move his arm into position for it to be the cannon. That's nice. And then this arm actually folds up in there. It just kind of tucks away. Isn't that interesting? It just tucks away. It's like it never even happened. And then this, you already saw a little bit of this. This is interesting. This hinge is really tight to get the toes out, but you can do it. You can do it. It's just, ooh, man, I'm worried that's gonna break. It's just so tight. Ooh. Then you just flip that out, straighten the tread, then get it up like that. And then these, like the movie 1 Voyager, like I said, are spring-loaded, so there's that. And then second verse, same as the first on that. I don't know if MGo's the one that really started saying that, but it's just kind of stuck with me whenever I'm like transforming something or even doing something where I have to do the same thing twice. I just say that all the time, and I think it's MGo's fault. So there's pretty much it. All we have to do now is hinge the backpack back, and then these tabs right there will tab into the treads. Just gotta make sure it's aligned, and then you just gotta make sure it's aligned, and then that's pretty much it. Just get these little winglets down, and then of course there's like a little bit of straightening you can do just to kind of get a little more tidy, but that's essentially his tank jet hamburger mode. It's a hamburger, man. It feels like a hamburger in your hands. I love it so much. This alt mode is great, and I love it. It's worth it to have that backpack. It really is, because it just makes such a great alt mode. The head looks great there. It's a film accurate detail. I actually think it's kind of cool, since he doesn't have a cockpit. Like, he would still need to look out, It kind of makes sense, because it's basically just an alternate form for him. It's not like a disguise, so why would he need to hide his head? So great alt mode, really great. I love it. Okay, so the thing about this Voyager Megatron is that, remember when I said that I didn't look at the instructions or anything? Well, I didn't, and it turns out there's a whole step that I had never even known about. Now, I'm filming this like a week after I filmed the original video, because when I went to finally edit the footage, I was thinking, I missed something. I had to have missed something, and I did. And I will fess up to when I miss something, but I won't fess up to when I just like maybe try to figure it out on my own, and then I just have a little bit harder of a time with it because I'm figuring it out and not following it step by step, because I just want to figure it out on my own. And sometimes I think it's more fun to do it that way. So I'm just kind of going with the flow here. I'm just kind of following what they want you to do, not in the order they tell you to do. But you flip this arm in, and then this actually has a spot, has a little tab right there that tabs in right there. I wasn't very clear with these tabs and slots either in my original video. I am going to keep the parts where I compare the vehicle modes, because my large issues still remain, where I just like the original vehicle mode just a little bit more. And I still feel like this one isn't as sturdy, and we'll get to that. But I still like that one more. But there is a complaint in the original video that is completely voided because I just missed a step. I was just being a dumb. So the thing I missed is when you're going to transform the legs, you do still need to flip these, and those still can come off really easy and dumb. These just go down, okay? They just go down. There's no uncertainty there. But the other thing you do involves a slider. And as we all know, sliders are not the easiest thing to know about. So there's a slider in the leg, right? And I'm trying to remember where it was. It is... Where is the slider? Because I know there's a slider. I saw it. You get right up there. Right up there is the slider. You slide it over. Boom, there you go. That fixes a major issue I had in the original filming of the video. And that issue was, I'll show you with this leg, when I went to transform it, and you'll probably see me complain about it in the old footage, which I'm not going to fully refilm because I don't feel like transforming the other guy back either. My complaint was when you're going to tab it in, and you see the slot right there and the tab right there, it just doesn't line up well. The thing is, I wasn't sliding it over. So now that it slides over, let's see how it tabs in. Hey, look, it actually tabs in pretty all right. Hey, that's not too bad. Still, I don't like that it's pretty much only held on by a single little tab like that. It's definitely not as sturdy as the old one. And you can see I'm still kind of having a little bit of an issue. But then you just kind of straighten it up. And there you go. There is, oh, that's really not straight. Then that goes in. These things still come off a lot when you're trying to transform it. Not every time, but sometimes. But here is the new revised tank mode from actually knowing how to transform the damn thing. And definitely more sturdy than how I had it before. The legs, they still come off easy. They do, because they're just connected with the one tab. There's nothing else holding them in. It's still just that one little tab. It's not like the old one where it has like multiple little hooks and things. So that's disappointing. It's still not as sturdy, but it looks nice. I do enjoy the look of it. But I still prefer the old one. So any complaints I make about the blah blah blah, I'll just cut out or whatever. But yeah, there's a transformation in tank mode on this Megatron. So hopefully I don't get a lot of crap about missing the slider, because it's a slider. It's easy to miss a little slider because it's not a hinge or anything. Anyways, there we go. RTF Studio Series Megatron in vehicle mode. Let's finish off the video from what I filmed like a week ago. Alrighty, epic. Anyways, there's the tanks. Clearly, I like one more than the other. This one looks very nice, but this one is just, it's such a chunk. It fits, it works. It doesn't like rattle around. It doesn't have anything that's just gonna come off or pop off. It is decent, it is nice, it is chunk. This one, you have to worry about these little flaps. If it's not tabbed in, it's just kind of a mess. These things came off 1,000 times. Those things come off. I mean, I know I'm not like transforming it perfectly per the instructions, but the thing is, I can transform ROTF Optimus, no problem. I can transform Movie Masterpiece Optimus, no problem. I can transform Transformers, okay? I just like figuring it out on my own instead of looking to instructions. And in the case of this, it's just, I figured this guy out on my own. I didn't look at anything. I just figured it out. This guy, though, it's just so difficult. I don't know if I'm the only one that's struggling there, but I'm just not into that. I'm going to have to do a lot of editing when it comes to all the times I was messing up in the transformation, because it's just a little meh. A very good robot mode. The alt mode looks nice. It just kind of struggles to tab together. So there we go, guys. There's the old versus new comparison here. Which one's better? Personally, I gotta say, pick your preference. If you like an older 2009 style Transformer with a very solid alt mode and transformation and a pretty damn good robot mode, even though it has some odd colors and pretty big backpack, go with him. But if you want a more film accurate version that, you know, has a great robot mode, not the best paint, but it's not the best thing to transform, I'd go with that one. Like even the face panel, it looks so much better on this one. And see, this one, even if it was like fully in, it just kind of rests in front. It doesn't like cover up precisely his eyes and everything like this one does. Ah, man, then thank you so much for taking a look at my old versus new yet again. Oh, the turrets can... This one can't move up, but it can move down. This one can move up and down. So, actually, really just moves up, but it can move down a little bit. So, yeah, better turret on that one, too. I recommend both of these, personally. Personally, I think I like this guy a little bit more, but he's still very nice. I still like him a lot. Anyways, guys, I'm going to log off. Thank you so much for checking out my old versus new on ROTF Megatron. Such a terrible movie, but hey, Megatron was cool in it. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Check out my social media links down in the description below, as well as my P.O. Box address and my frequently asked questions. Have a good day, guys, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye.